It's Kyrie, and we are here with the band themselves, Exist Immortal. People, I'm stoked.
What is
I'm,
up?
I'm, I'm so happy. Yeah,
What's up, brother?
I can't believe they're giving me the opportunity to have this. We're here with Merrick and Kurt, the lead vocalist, and is it the lead guitar, Kurt? Are you the lead guitarist?
Guitarist, you can call me. Yeah.
Yeah, you
One
kind of mix
half
and
of the
match.
guitars.
Yeah.
Fair. Yeah, they're giving me the opportunity to interview them. They are outstanding band. I heard their song "Play Pretend," which I instantly love. Who they are as people, well, we're gonna find out. But Kyber Crew, this is for you. This is an interview to understand more about this band. Dive into the whole metalcore, deathcore scene, the rockcore scene, the whole UK scene of what music's like, and then obviously see the new chapters for this channel and see where it goes. So let's introduce the band. So lead vocalist Merrick and Kurt, the guitarist. Introduce yourself, boys.
What's up? Safe, yeah, we're America and
My name's Kurt. Yeah.
from Exist Immortal. And yeah, it's a pleasure to be here. Chatting to you.
Excited. Yeah, I was so surprised you messaged back. I didn't think it was actually going to go ahead, but yeah, it means a lot to me, and it just is a next stepping stone to
made
the
it happen.
channel. Yeah. Exactly. It's the next stepping stone, and I just can't wait to see where a channel actually goes to, and obviously have you guys influence that to see where it can obviously lead to. So quick background. You're a 5-piece band from England. So representing the UK. So what's up as well, me?
Yeah. 100%.
What is it? I've seen that you got great feedback from obviously a lot of press and obviously quotes from like from your history, from people like Louder Sounds, Metal Hammer. I might pronounce this wrong, but Carreg and Distorted Sounds. So a lot of them were saying that obviously your capability of producing music is very earth-shaking. You got strong grooves, mastery of your instruments, soaring vocals, laid with adulting riffage. I might have said that kind of wrong.
I think the word's unadulterated. I remember there was one thing that said that, which is it's a crazy word, really.
Oh,
But
okay.
it's, all these people who write for the press stuff, they love like using their linguistics.
Yes, yeah, they do.
To the max.
But yeah, and obviously making yourselves kind of known in the scene and like known in all metal community around in the UK, especially around Europe now, because I know that I've dived into a little bit of looking into you guys, and obviously you have toured around Europe as well. So what I want to get into is just like how you guys formed and like, well, to tell the community on YouTube, like how it became about, the origins, because it looked like, if I'm mistaken, it looks like Kurt and David originally made a band back in 2011. So
I could definitely summarize it in a few
College
bullet
band,
points.
yeah.
I don't know, like it's probably been like 14 years down the line. I actually don't know.
Something like that.
But
Yeah.
it was like a college. It was a college band for me and David and the former guitarist. And over like the first early few years, we gathered up different new members, and we've been the same lineup as we are now for the past
Six or
7 to 8 years now.
Wow.
Yeah, you reckon?
2017 was
So the lineup we are as we are now has been
7 years.
strong
I reckon.
for 7 years, give or take. And
Outstanding.
yeah, it's been going strong ever since. Yeah.
That's really good, to be fair. Like having like 7 years worth of obviously connecting memory stuff to build is outstanding. Like especially like your origins of like we grew up all together, kind of like from those college days, is wild, because obviously as time goes on, people swap, band members go in and out, so stuff like that happens. So to have that history still to today, that's sick. That's amazing.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
I'm glad you got that bond. I really want to recap. Well, not recap. I want to kind of mention the whole Bloodsport. Is it Bloodstock event?
Bloodstock,
Yeah,
yesterday,
Yeah, you just done that yesterday. I'm not sure when this video will come out, but you just done that yesterday. So yeah, comment on that. What was that like?
Yeah, that was crazy. Played to a full tent of I don't know, it must be like 4,000 people or something.
4,000 metalheads.
Pretty crazy.
And probably 3,500 of them has probably never listened to us. So that's a blessing.
Yeah.
To perform to them.
So it's a nice, like, always a good opportunity to like reach a new audience. These big festivals.
And the way how we gathered with their impression of us, I think we made a great point.
We left a good impression, we think. And it was sick though. It was a great experience. It's a cool festival because it's a big festival, but it's not like the biggest. It's like a medium tier festival, so it's got quite a nice like intimate vibe, and like it's a very friendly festival.
Yeah.
So it was a lot of fun. Yeah, we had a sick time.
I'm glad you had a really good time. One thing I always get told is never to like minimalize anything. So regardless
Yeah.
whether it's a small festival, you still did a festival and you still smashed
Yeah,
out,
yeah, yeah.
and people are getting to know you,
Oh,
as you said, a new
yeah.
audience.
It's a small festival. It's still like, I think the total capacity is like 20,000 people. So it's not like
Wow, wow.
it's like it's small compared to like the Readings and the Downloads and the Glastonburys, but like it's still a like yeah,
It's
it's
still
sizable,
relatively like, yeah.
a sizable amount of people.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. 20,000 is still insane. And obviously Glastonbury
Yeah,
and
yeah.
obviously Reading, yeah, they may be massive.
Different levels.
One
Yeah.
day, but one day you're definitely going to get there. It's all about when.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
when it
yeah. For
happens,
sure, for
it's going to
sure.
be an experience that you wouldn't believe. So I'm glad you got obviously new people listening to you. Is it like, I guess it sounds really weird to say, but some people feel nervous performing on stage. Like, do you guys get a bit of nerves before you like start? Because like I used to do music years ago, I stopped now, and like before I ever got onto stage, and I do musical theatre now and then, I still get the
Yeah.
nerves just before I like
Ah,
go
yeah.
on. But I like that because it helps me get better or like makes me
Yeah.
perform better. Do you guys have that experience still to this day?
I think as long as you got all the preparation in terms of like the equipment you use, you make sure its functionality is 100%. I would have no reason to be nervous. I'd just rather be pumped.
Yeah,
I
you
feel
kind of
more,
get adrenaline, more
yeah,
like you get like a bit of like a bit of a
apprehensive.
knot maybe, like slight, but normally like because if you know you're prepared, then there's kind of as Kurt said, there's kind of no reason to be nervous. So but you get like an adrenaline rush. You still get like itching, the kind of itch to I just want to do it now. I just want to do it. Like when you're
Okay.
waiting around beforehand. So yeah, it's kind of I guess maybe that is a kind of nerves, but it's not like it's not the same. Like back in the day, like the first time we did like some big shows,
Yeah.
we'd probably be like a bit nervous because it was like a new, like
A new
a
like,
newer thing.
yeah.
But nowadays it's more like you just get like a big adrenaline surge. So then you just want to do it. You're just itching to go, and you're just
Nice.
hoping that. So you kind of can get like, yeah, it's just excitement,
You
I
kind
guess.
of the more like big shows you perform, like the more like you kind of like level up within yourself, and you know
Yeah,
how to
yeah,
like combat with your own like anxiety.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
So we all have little tricks up our sleeve mentally to perform to the best of our ability when it
yeah.
comes to very big shows.
And just kind of like
Nice.
trust in your own abilities that you know that you're rehearsed. You know that you know what you're doing.
But you know you're a sick dude and you can do this.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you like from that? Would you ever say like when people may listen to you and feel like I'm not a big fan of them, or they're probably too egotistical, based on because you're like I'm good at what I do. Do you ever get a bit
Yeah.
of that happening within your career? Do you have that with
Well,
different bands you meet?
it's kind of more like you have that. We've definitely met bands like that, but within like yourself, you instead of that's kind of just a thing you tell yourself to give you like the confidence to
Yeah,
go
yeah,
on stage.
exactly. Yeah,
So it's never really anything that we're like outwardly be like, look at us, we're sick. Like, yeah,
yeah,
like this kind of because that can come across quite like I don't know. People find it a bit like grotty and a bit sticky.
yeah, yeah,
But so we it's not something you do kind of outwardly, but it is something that you do like that we do to ourselves
yeah.
and be like, yeah, cool, it's fine. Everything's going to be fine. There's no reason to be nervous.
Fair.
There's no
That's
reason to like kind of keeping the anxiety in check.
Yeah.
sick.
Just like that.
Yeah.
That's good to like be like that. So I guess all the years that you performed still to this day, and obviously you performed yesterday, 9th of August, people they performed at Bloodstock.
Yeah.
Yeah, to actually still be like, you know what, I can still do it, and obviously not have too much of a
Yeah.
nerve wracking kind of feeling to
Yeah.
adapt to that adrenaline that you said it's more of a feeling of that instead. So that's
Yeah.
that's
You know that
great.
you've done it before. Yeah. You know that
Yeah,
you've done it before. You know that you know what you're doing. You know your muscle memory will take over as soon as you're
yeah,
on the stage. So you kind of, it's not, and then you're just kind of riding the train. You're riding the wave of the
yeah, yeah.
vibes at that point. So
Sick.
just let it happen.
No, that's perfect. What I want to get
Yeah.
into also is your genre. So
Yeah.
hopefully, I might ask this for you, Kurt, if you
Sure.
can answer this. By all means,
Yeah.
merit, go in if you can. So your genre is a metalcore, like metalcore, technical metal with like some pop influence. So it's quite
Yeah.
a distinctive type of genre with obviously the mixture of different styles. So how did that genre come about? The reason why I'm obviously asking you, Kurt, is obviously you were obviously one of the founders of making the band of what it is today. Were you
Yeah,
quite a big
yeah, sure.
influence by that, or what was influenced by the band to create that genre?
Um, I think, honestly, I think, like I said earlier, like being 7 years as the lineup we are now, we've all have our different like type of music we enjoy listening to, and I think it stems from we're all like 20% on it. Like us five members love totally different styles of music, and we all blend it in together. But the foundation of it is, I would say, I really love my like hip hop, rap music. I love like hard 808s, hard slapping like grooves.
Yeah.
And we was doing a few interviews yesterday, and one of the questions was to summarize our music in 3 words, and I think I said something like gangster, shreddy, and bounce.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I would say that would summarize our
Yeah.
type of music,
I think
respectively.
it stems
But
from like
yeah,
I think it stems from the like we all because we all like different genres and we all come from a different place. It kind of it turns into this thing, and the kind of more progressive technical metal is because the kind of genre that we all have in common that we all like is that kind of thing. Is like
Nice.
progressive metal. The midpoint of all our tastes is roughly that. So that's kind of why it ends up in that direction.
yeah,
But
and
yeah,
we don't like dislike anyone else's enjoyment of music, respectively. Like we all like we all come together and actually like appreciate it.
Mm.
So yeah, we're never clashing with each other
yeah,
musically, and that's why I suppose it's really easy for us to like write our type of music,
Mm.
and it's never
sure, yeah.
it's never a chore. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Outstanding. I'm glad you mentioned about clashing because I actually wanted to dabble into that a little bit later in the interview, but I thought I'd bring it up now because you've mentioned it. What is it like with the band members? Because you guys have known each other obviously since 2011, building the band for 7 years. What is it like, kind of like communicating or dealing with different like emotions, band members' feelings, the whole like mindset of someone else's to yours? Like my experience, like I always feel like I clash with other people, hence why I kind of like do a lot of things myself. But how does that like affect your performing, your like rehearsals? Like, are there cons to like with you guys like being together, or there is there like pros that's like outweighs the cons? Like, how is that at the moment when it comes to making music?
I mean, it's kind of, I think whenever we've got something to do, like if we've got a show, we've got a tour, or we know we have to be in the studio or something, we always we know that's the focal point, and kind of everything else is less important than that. So we kind of all focus down for that. But like we do like disagree on stuff sometimes, but then we'll just kind of discuss it out. And also just because the other thing is obviously we all have lives as well.
Yeah.
Sonder.
So like yeah, so we all like it's like sometimes we have to give each other space if we're sorting some stuff out. Like do you know what I mean? Everyone goes through stuff. Everyone has like family stuff going on,
Mm.
things that need dealing with. So like we just kind of we're pretty calm with just giving people space. Like our for example, like last year our drummer had to had to do like a training thing for his because he's a teacher as well.
Mm.
So he had to do like a training program, and there was only one period of time where he could get that done, and that meant for that time being, like we took a different drummer to Japan with us in December because just because like Charlie had to do that thing in his life, and we were like, okay, that's not a problem. Like we know that stuff happens sometimes.
Yeah.
Like just gotta make it happen. But luckily we've got a good network, so we were able to just kind of drop someone in. But like, yeah, normally just we just got to give we got to
It's
give
being
everyone.
transparent as much as possible,
Yeah,
so that it makes it easier to combat any type of like conflictions with
Yeah.
doing
yeah,
existing all.
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
that's really good feedback, and well, not feedback. That's really good to like say and
Yeah,
mention because yeah, a lot of bands, obviously not just myself, but a lot of bands, a lot of people in general, even just like general like sports and like how people just have like teams and like groups to obviously have that
any kind of
respect.
team thing. Yeah,
Exactly, exactly. So to have that respect for each other and obviously accommodate for certain circumstances and still have that bond is actually quite powerful because not a
yeah,
lot of people have that. And some bands, like I interviewed another guy who obviously has a band, and he said a lot of people have been in and out, and he's been mixing with different type of like band members. So to actually
yeah,
still have that and still feel like Charlie wasn't missed in that situation when he was doing those studies,
yeah, yeah,
and then you said you got another drummer for the Japan tour
yeah.
performance. It's nice that obviously you guys all understood that. So I respect that a lot. Massively, I respect that a lot. So Merrick, carry on.
Yeah.
Sorry, apologies. Carry on.
No, I was just gonna say it's anytime you've got to like do anything as 5 humans, you've got to like, do you know what I mean? That's 5 lives that have to be kind of
Exactly.
managed around and dealt with. Yeah, but yeah, that's all I was gonna say.
No, exactly.
Of course, Charlie was pissed off that he couldn't come to the
Yeah, Charlie was gutted he couldn't come, but yeah.
Next time,
Had
Charlie.
to be done, yeah.
Well, soon he
Yeah.
can obviously, I guess, come with you guys again if you ever go back to
Yeah.
Japan. That'd be amazing. But Merrick, for you,
Yeah.
I want to ask about like how you guys have toured the UK and like Europe
Yeah.
since 2013. You've done obviously cities from London, Birmingham, Milan, Munich,
Yeah.
Rotterdam. What is your best moment, or what's like? Do you feel like the band was the best moments when touring around the UK and Europe?
Oh, best moments. I mean, we've had some like it was probably best moments have been some of the UK festivals that we've done.
Okay.
Like we headlined a small festival called UK Tech Fest a couple of years ago, and that was a very special show. That was like, yeah, that
It
was
was a very special moment.
that was probably a highlight for us. Yesterday was really good as well, was a highlight. We've also done, we played with like the shows in Italy we've done have always been really good. We played at Metal Days Festival in Slovenia, and when we toured with a band called Textures from the Netherlands in the Netherlands, and that was a few years ago, which was and they were like some nice sort of big old theatre venues. That was definitely a highlight, yeah. So it's quite often festivals tend to be the most fun ones because it's just like the bigger crowds and the like. Do you know what I mean? Everyone's like up for a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like what you were saying before about nervousness, like there's the small runs of like shows that you do in like standard gigs, standard venues, as opposed to like the sort of practice runs to like the big shows like festivals.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly.
What was it that was the best moment? 'Cause, as you said, it was the UK tour that you did on at that time.
Yeah, I
Probably the
think
highlight. But what made it the highlight?
if I had to pick a best moment, it would be when we headlined this little festival because it was like a community festival of like of the genre, like progressive sort of technical metal. So it was like we got to do a headline show there, and it was special because it was special because of the feedback we got back from the crowd. Like the crowd was singing along. There was like crowd surfing,
Yeah.
like crazy energy the whole time,
big vibes.
massive
Yeah.
vibes, and like it was emotional. It was great, and we were able to like put together a proper good production for it, like light show and all of that stuff, and like proper make an event of the whole thing. So all like a pinnacle of that moment, and that was very special, that one.
I always say in my reactions, nothing can beat, or there's nothing that can explain a moment where a crowd sings back your songs. Would you
It's
agree?
crazy. It's like there's
Yeah, 100%.
there's no drug on earth
Yeah.
that can make that like create that sensation.
Yeah, I always preach like an artist, they work their ass off, or a band, they will work their ass off to get to a moment like that for people to sing their song.
Exactly.
And
Yes,
you
exactly.
can't describe that feeling. It's unreal.
Yeah, there's no way. It's like I don't know. You can't. It's like just euphoria to the max.
Exactly. What I want to talk about also is if I can find my mouse. There you go. It's like the cons. So there's going to be highlighted moments. There's going to be beautiful moments, literally as you described, from obviously your touring and obviously certain moments and like local performances you've done, and obviously the band or the group you obviously have as well. But what's the cons though? Like, what's the moments you've like been upset about, or maybe when you performed you're upset about? I'll probably go like Merrick, you can speak first, and Kurt, you can speak after. Like, I guess because obviously both of you are going to say parts from what you experienced.
Yeah.
But what's your cons from what you've been through?
Sometimes you have like big logistical challenges that you have to overcome. Like if you're away on tour and you get like puncture on the van, then you've got to wait around in some motorway. I remember we had lots of bad moments in the early days, like sleeping in cars. I remember we our first shows we played in Europe, we did in a car, and we crossed across the channel, and then as soon as we got to Calais, one of the windows like broke, and the mechanism broke and fell open, and it was like raining and windy. and we
Oh.
had to like tape a fucking bin bag over
Damn
the
it.
window and and do the whole journey. So that's flapping away and it's cold and it was like February or something. So it
Oh
was
man. Oh.
grim weather. So that was a low point. We've oh yeah, we did some shows in India and a bunch of us got some stuff robbed.
Oh damn it. Oh.
That was rough.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Um,
Did you get
Luckily,
hurt or was it just robbed?
no,
Nah, it was just like
detective.
pickpocketed.
Yeah.
Oh, I
Just
see.
like
Damn it. Oh.
just like rob. We've had like on stage injuries. Like you can
Oh.
talk about those.
Yeah. Again, yeah. I think it was the festival, this UK Tech Fest festival that happened, but a few years prior to the main one that we headlined.
Yeah,
I had a little injury at work, and well, I suppose there was a little cut on my finger, but it came to performing in like a 40-degree tent,
Oh
a proper
wow.
sweat box, and my wound split open on my finger,
Oh.
resulting on my back then all white guitar just caked in
Oh.
bright red. I
No
suppose it
way.
looked really metal. I suppose it would carry like, yeah, this is awesome. But what the
Yeah.
hell? Well, it was a very painful moment, so I wouldn't
it's
wish that
funny.
upon my worst enemy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But that was pretty gnarly, I
and
would
then
say.
do you remember when you got concussion
Oh.
at the
Ah,
show?
yeah, sure. I forgot about my
Concussion.
concussion. I suppose I could say I forgot about it. We had a headline show in London in Camden, and during like the second to last song, there's a really heavy part in the moment, so everyone was doing their head banging. Unfortunately, one of the crowd members was headbanging like completely the opposite way. So as I went to headbang down, the back of his skull went up, and I just collided with my eye.
Oh.
Guy in the front row.
Guy in the
Yeah.
front row. Everything went blank in my head for a bit. Supposedly we finished the show, and then all I heard was one more song.
Oh
At the same
no.
moment, I was like, we were backstage, like, guys, my eye's literally swelling up as we
And his
speak.
eye is like black.
Oh my god.
We
Jeez.
continued to play that last song, and then I
The
couldn't speak
commitment.
afterwards.
Dude.
Yeah, then
Yeah,
you had to
then I had
then
to
you
go
had to
to
go
the
to hospital.
hospital. Yeah, man. But
Everything was alright.
injuries are the worst, especially when you're trying to be a professional performing live.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So as long as you soldier through it, you can deal with your injuries later.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
must
we've
have
had
just
some
no
fun
carry on,
Um,
carry on,
ones.
Merrick, carry on.
No, I've just said we've had some
Silly times.
plenty of crazy stuff go down.
Yeah.
Jeez. Yeah, you must have just been like, you know, when you're so adrenaline, like you got so much like endorphins in you, so
Yeah.
pumped up. You must be like, yeah, let's just carry on. And then until that hype went down, that's probably when you couldn't speak no more and just went, yeah, my body just collapsed.
Need to go to
Jeez.
hospital.
It's done. Yeah.
That's
It doesn't help. I was also inebriated a little bit, so
yeah.
that plus a concussion doesn't do well together.
Oh.
But shows the show, hey.
I mean,
Yeah.
you seem fine now.
Yeah. Nice and healthy now.
Yeah.
No
yeah.
no injuries yesterday. Yeah.
That's the most important thing. Jeez. Oh my god. I guess like one thing I want to mention, because you obviously mentioned like how Charlie's obviously looking to be a teacher, or
Yeah.
probably is a teacher now.
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
Yes.
Kurt, like yourself, obviously you said you were at work. So I take it like you have like, because you got Merrick, you mentioned about family and his life and people have stuff. So I take it as you are banned, as you tour, you must have like what the public would call a normal life as well. So do you like have jobs that you work, I guess, or as well as you do your band?
Yeah.
I would say, Merrick, you start off with
We all do sort of have double lives in a way. Like we've got the band stuff where we go and we like travel and we play shows and we sort of meet people and write music and stuff like that. And then we do have like things we do when we're not doing that, which is different for everyone. Like myself, I work as a producer anyway. Like we're currently in my studio.
Fair. Nice.
Behind the thing is my monitor setup. You can't see it, but you can see like guitars on the wall and stuff.
Yeah.
So I do that. I'm a bit more like in music all the time anyway. But everyone else, you do all kinds of things. Like
Yeah, we are all very varied with what we do.
Yeah,
I mean, David.
work on trains.
I work. If I'm not being a rock star, I'm all in orange high visibility.
Fair.
Well, as a railway engineer at night. Fortunately for the way my job works, I'm able to take as much time off as possible.
Nice.
Provided I, just be a good person at that job, and yeah, that works for me in my favor. So I can't complain, honestly.
Yeah,
The
exactly.
only problem is it's night shift, so things tend to, when we do stuff together, things tend to be during daytime when I'm still asleep, technically.
Yeah.
Technically. So, but that's just a very minor thing. Just give me 2 coffees and I'm ready to play. You know?
Fair.
Yeah.
So how do you, I guess this is probably to both of you, this is an open question. So for people that are, I guess, up and coming bands, people that are in the same position as you, what's your tip to kind of help someone who has a full-time job or who does work within like a normal life to also keep up and put the effort into obviously performing your band and like keeping that energy? Because like a lot of people think I get obviously or paid or make money on YouTube, and I don't at the moment. So I work a full-time job and I'm posting every single day on top of
Understood.
obviously trying to like do a Patreon, which I'm building, a Discord that I've got, list goes on. So it's kind of like, what would your tips be for a band? How would you like try to balance the two?
That's a
kind of
nutshell.
discipline,
I would say,
as well.
discipline, and don't compromise what you can't afford to lose.
Yeah.
Fair.
Like as you're saying, like you're still respect to what you're doing, but still obviously to keep your day job as you're trying to get monetized on YouTube.
Yeah.
So likewise, like with our stuff, like don't sacrifice more than you can. Don't bite off more than you can chew.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. That's
And also
probably
just,
perfect. Carry on.
discipline as well, and just like you need some kind of discipline to keep doing the things that are hard to do, like posting stuff regularly. Same like for YouTube and that, like keeping on top of content and like writing and moving things forward and just keeping the ball rolling. Really, that's where the discipline comes in.
Yeah.
Just keeping it moving.
Great.
Because it is, with all these things, it is a game of like last man standing. It's
It
like,
is. Yeah.
and it's like that's the way forward. Just just be there always.
Since
And
we
then-
since we've started, or let's say since with our current lineup of what you said, 7 years, we've seen so many bands before our time, within our time, just
Come and go.
call it a day and sayonara and all that jazz, eh? So yeah, like discipline and continuity with what you're doing will keep you in the game longer than you would really expect to be. So it's mad crazy that we're still here, and I appreciate all the fans for keeping us going, eh?
Yeah, exactly. There you go, people. Exist Immortal. There's your tips and feedback to keep things consistent and balanced from Kurt and Merrick. No, 100%. A lot of people, well, I say a lot of people, some people possibly could think it's motivation, but like you said, it is discipline. You have to do it.
You can't, like, you're not going to be motivated all the time.
Exactly.
You just aren't. You can't rely on motivation. Is like downstream from discipline.
Yeah.
So you kind of you can't. It's like trying to chase happiness. It's like you can't do that.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a byproduct.
Exactly.
And the transparency again, I think, is the utmost importance. Like you've got to be completely brutally honest with your band members, because it is again, it's like a working relationship.
Yeah.
Aside from being like the boys outside of the band life, it's also like transparency is key.
Yeah,
exactly.
You are trying to keep a thing going, so you have to like serve that entity.
Exactly. So 100% perfect on what you're saying. But definitely take that on board, people. Definitely take that on tips. It is discipline. You can obviously motivate yourself as much as you want, but if you're not disciplined to do it, like going to the gym.
And you can never stop learning your instrument, guys.
Yeah.
You can never stop learning your instrument. Vocally, guitar-wise, drum-wise, anything. There's always something that you need to learn.
No, that's perfect, because obviously when you feel like you've met your like limit, or I've gotten to no, because obviously there's more to learn. So that's
exactly. I don't know how I managed to do it. I feel like I'm still blagging how to play guitar.
We'll finish up soon because I've only got a few more questions left. But I want to just mention about because you guys said about touring. You said you went to India, you've gone to Japan. One video I saw was a Michael Jackson video. And it was a clip of him going, "I hate touring," and the interview was like, "No, you have to like big it up because obviously people want to like see the positive of what touring's like." And he's like, "But the hours, the sleeping, the time, like, because obviously he would like tour around the whole world, so obviously different clocks, different like days and stuff like that." So what's your experience on that? What's your thoughts on like touring and like going to these other countries?
We've seen all ends of the spectrum.
Yeah,
like
100%.
We've done really gross, like small car touring in proper like low quality venues, and we've also seen like great hospitality, 5-star treatment,
Legit.
like
Fair.
we've the whole spectrum is there, and it's like it's both amazing and tiring and stressful at the same time. It's but then that's kind of just because anything worth doing is kind of it should come with some kind of like a bit of difficulty.
Yeah. Nothing's meant to be
But
like easy. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
and like it's at the end of the day, you got to remind yourself sort of where you are. Like it's when you're if even if you have some logistical issues, but you're in Japan and you're in a hotel that someone else has paid for, and you're playing a show to a bunch of people in Japan.
Yeah.
It's like what?
You got to remind yourself, like,
Yeah,
this is
what you're doing.
what's going on. You know,
Or like if you're when we're like, it's like you're in Mexico and people are singing your songs, and it's like this is mad.
yeah.
Even
Yeah.
though you've just like, even though you might be a bit ill because you ate something dodgy, or like, or just anything, or you're tired, or like you're, do you know what I mean? There's some, or it's a hot day and you feel a bit, it's too muggy for you, whatever. Like you have to remind yourself, like, actually, no, I'm
doing bits.
fundamentally doing something that like people would chop off an arm for.
Exactly. Yeah.
So you have to kind of, you have to take the sweet with the sour.
I think as well, like I've had this a few times. I don't think I said it on camera. When we after like a dopamine rush of a massive tour, or like Mexico, Japan, or whatnot, any big tour, European tour, the process of coming back to a normal life, that the next few days, you feel like I feel like a bit low, deflated, and I'm like, what am I doing? Get me back on the road, post tour blues, and then you have to catch yourself before you start feeling a bit more like sad for yourself. Like, actually, no, this is good. I'm glad I did that. The next one's coming up soon. Let me focus on my mental health and make some more money out of that. You know?
Yeah. No, I'm actually glad you actually said that, because my outlook on it is when people think like that, I think they're different to the norm.
Yeah.
Because if you're worrying, or not worrying, if you come back, let's say back to your normal daily life, and you're like, oh, I'm feeling a bit down because obviously I wish I was back there, then I think that's your true calling. I think that's where you're really meant to be. And I feel like that aspect of your mind thinking like that makes you different from the public, makes you different from like the norm person that just wants to probably just do a standard 9 to 5 job. So I think you saying that means a lot. From my point of view, means a lot.
No, I
feel you, brother.
You're totally right. Yeah, you're totally right. There is a thing. There's also like the flip side of when you go back to your job. Yeah, it's not as fun as being out on tour, but it's like great. You've got a job to go back to when you're not.
Correct.
You can immediately go home and make some money. Yeah, it's not that interesting, but like you're not. Do you know what I mean? You're not just relying on this one thing.
Exactly.
Which is always good.
So what we'll do, thank you for obviously mentioning that, is we'll finish off a little bit kind of like feedback. I kind of already said it with like the whole balancing of work life with you performing, but generally just want to see what your thoughts are or your tips. So this is what we're going to finish off with, just to make a bit more sense, to clarify where we are. But just your thoughts and your tips. So I'll start with you, Merrick. To like up and coming bands, for any obviously shows that apologies, any up and coming bands. So any tips that you feel like you can give to an up and coming band that I'm going to obviously show out onto this community. I guess so. What's your tips and thoughts to create the successful career that you guys have got now?
It always, and Kurt said this earlier, but it's really true, is always like keep learning your instrument. Practicing, but also learning your instrument so that you kind of get better and better. And if you make a plan to do something, be disciplined in seeing that through. So if you say, particularly with stuff like content and your internet presence, like it's really important to stay disciplined on that stuff, because that's like so important in this day and age. And that's going to help. That's going to pay dividends down the line. It'll feel tedious and boring, and you won't see immediate like feedback, and you're not going to post 3 things and get thousands of views.
Exactly, yeah.
So you have to understand that you have to go through that phase to get to the next phase, and that's where you have to be disciplined and just do it for the sake. So that'll be what I'd say. I don't know if you have anything to add.
I can word it in my way. I would say, yes, you can always keep practicing your instrument, but also make sure you're in a position where you're able to do this without conflicting with your own personal life. Do not fuck up your own personal life for the sake of going out in a band when you can't afford to do that, when you can't afford to lose your own.
When you can't afford both financially and psychologically.
Yes, your own mentality is really important, and it will degrade if you're not prepared.
Yeah, fair. No, that's really good to say. Great tips, great feedback, and I hope people take that on board and obviously put that in. Even if they don't do it for music, they implement that in general for their life 100%. And stuff like that. So I hope they're true words.
Any type of performing arts, you know.
And then lastly, guys, any up and coming shows? Anything you want to say to the audience for Kyber Crew that are new to you? And obviously anyone that obviously does see this on YouTube, any up and coming shows that you're doing that people can come to?
Yeah, well, we'll actually be announcing some more dates quite soon, but we have they'll be in like later in the year, sort of November, December time. So we have a show that's announced, a headline show in Brighton at the start of December. It's a few months away, but that one's going to be crazy. So that's in Brighton. So if anyone's in the southeast, then come to that one, and we will be announcing some more soon.
Nice. Kurt, anything to add on that?
We've got check out our 2 latest songs, Higher Ground and Follow. They are
like I said already, Kareem. It sounds gangster, shreddy, pop. That's what they are, boss.
I love your music. Play Pretend.
Thank you.
It sounds crazy to me, but Play Pretend.
Loved your reaction video as well, by the way.
Thank you.
Your reaction video. You gassed me up as well, bro.
But it's sick. The solo of the guitar was sick. The actual vibe,
like it does go in.
The melodicness, because I'm a melodic guy. Like when I hear melodic stuff, my heart just goes. I love it. So I'm glad you like it as well, Merrick. I'm glad you're into that sort of like melodic.
Definitely.
I don't know what it is, but it takes control of my body and I freak out.
Sick. That's excellent. That's cool. Yeah.
So your band ticks a lot of boxes for me. So I think you're amazing. I think you're outstanding, and I can't wait to like listen to more and hear, see where you guys go. Because the world's your oyster, and there's no limit to how far you can make it. So it's all about when instead of if. So I really wish you guys good luck, and obviously the future is prosperous. Prosperous. There you go.
Prosperous. That's the one. Yeah,
it will prosper.
Cool.
Definitely.
Guys, this is the interview over. This is Kyrene. We got Kurt and Merrick here from Immortal. People, all their links and descriptions are going to be in the description. Definitely check them out. Hire's going to be in the description as well. That's just come out, so go check it out. People, these guys are unreal. Keep in touch with them. Definitely follow their social. Definitely support them. They're the next big thing for me. They're the next big thing for me. But
thank you, bro.
I hope you guys believe the same. So definitely go check them out. Over and out, and until the next time, peace.
Cheers, gang.
Big up.